What's up, guys? My name's Jonathan, this is my Canon, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Cannoneer. Now, if you guys have been following the channel for a little while, you probably know by now that I've been working with PCBWay to make a giant mini ball mold that we can use to make giant mini balls to shoot out of the cannon here. Well, I'm excited to give you guys a close-up look at the mini ball mold that's arrived. It looks great. PCBWay does great work with their CNC machining. I'm excited to show you guys how we use the mold and what those giant mini balls look like when they're finished. So I'll meet you guys over at the shop in just a second, and we'll start working on all of that. But before we do, if you guys haven't done so already, go ahead and drop down below and hit that subscribe button. I'm sure you guys are going to want to keep up with all the fun stuff that we're going to be shooting with the cannon here and out of the cannon, including those giant mini balls that's going to be coming out in future videos. And if you guys maybe have any projectile designs of your own that you'd like to see us test out of the cannon here on the channel, all the information for the subscriber shot special will be down in the description below. And last but not least, thank you again to PCBWay for helping us make this video possible. PCBWay is your one-stop shop to help you guys bring any designs or ideas that you guys might have in your head or maybe on a piece of paper into reality and prototypes and things that you can hold in your hand or possibly sell to clients. They have all kinds of great services, including CNC that we use to make the mold today, 3D printing, sheet metal work, laser engraving, all kinds of other services that you guys might need to use to help bring your creations to life. So all the information for PCBWay will be down in the description below. They also have a Christmas sale going on right now, so if you guys are interested, be sure to check them out and tell them the Cannoneer sent you. So I'll meet you guys over at the shop in just a second, and we'll take a look at that awesome mold.
First things first, a little unboxing, and I also wanted to show you how well PCBWay packages up all of their products. You can see it's wrapped in these multi-layers of that soft, squishy packing material there and bubble wrap. And once I get this layer out, there's another layer inside. It's all taped together and wrapped in the saran wrap. So I'll cut that open, and then we'll unbox the mold out of there. Nothing's going to get these scratched up. They're not going to break. If you order anything from them, it's going to come securely like this. All of my orders that I've gotten from them have been just as well packaged. So now this is only one half of the mold. I've had the other half for a minute, so let's put them together and start making some mini balls. So the first thing that you're going to need to make mini balls is a mini ball mold. This is the one that PCBWay made for us. It looks awesome. It throws some really great mini balls. So we'll take both of these halves and clamp them together, and then we'll preheat them for just a little bit. We use the stove top for this. So next you guys will see it clamped together, and we put it on the stove top on the eye with a flat eye stove in our shop, and it sits there just long enough where it's not comfortable to touch it. That's going to help the lead go in the mold easier, and it also helps the lead to fill in any grooves that might be inside the mold. Next, you have to melt your lead ingots. We used to use a Lee lead melter for this. It took a very long time. So now we just put it inside of a pouring ladle and put it in our gas forge until it's melted. So now that our lead is nice and melted, I'm going to go ahead and take it out of the forge. It's nice and runny. You guys can see what it looks like when it's all melty there. And I'm going to take it over to the mold, and I'm going to start pouring the lead into that preheated mold. So make sure it's preheated. It's nice and clamped together there, really tight. And I'm going to pour it into the hole right there. And you guys can see it's going to go ahead and fill in the mold almost up to the top. It's going to start to cool. You guys can see the color of the lead change from a bright shiny silver to kind of a dull. And it will also form a cavity there. So I'm going to go ahead and fill that cavity back in once it's dry, and pour some more lead in and go ahead and finish off casting this mini ball. So the next step is going to be to open up the mold when this is cool and to demold it and remove the little pour sprue up there. So now that the mold has been sitting for about a minute or so, the mini ball inside is solidified up. All of the lead's solid now. It's not going to come running out of the cracks when I open this mold up. So we can go ahead and take the clamps off. It's still quite hot, so you probably want to wear a glove to touch it with. And I'm going to use a wooden mallet to kind of gently persuade it to come apart. The molds get so hot that they do stick together just a little bit. And now that the mold's open, you can see the mini ball still inside there. And I'm going to give it a couple of little taps on the back to help it come out of the mold as well. Get a nice up-close look at it. They're awesome looking. I'm excited to shoot this out of the cannon. And the next step is going to be to remove that little casting sprue at the end. So I've got the mini ball kind of gently clamped in our post vise there. I don't want to squish the lead any. And I'm going to use an angle grinder, as you guys can see there, to cut the sprue off the end of that mini ball. So these little sprues are just going to be pieces of lead. You can keep them and remelt them, which is exactly what we do with them. And as you guys can see there, lead likes to squish and fold in on itself, so it's a little hard to cut with an angle grinder, but now that that's off, I go ahead and smooth it out there, and we've got a completed mini ball ready to be shot out of the cannon. And while the mold's still preheated, you can make as many of these as you want. And just in case you're curious, it weighs 1 pound 10 ounces.
Well, guys, that was fun. I hope you enjoyed watching how those mini balls get made. I know I'm sure excited to shoot them out of the cannon here, and I hope you guys are as well. So that video will be coming out after the first of the year. We're going to be hitting the range up in the next week, and I'm going to be testing out my new camera. If you guys aren't aware, we now have a Sony RX100 that shoots almost 1,000 frames per second, so we should be able to watch those mini balls come out of this cannon here in super, super, super high speed. So thanks again, guys, for hanging out here till the end of the video. If you did enjoy this, go ahead and hit that like button. It's really going to help this video get out into the world of YouTube. Thank you again to PCBWay for helping us out with our mold today, helping us sponsor the channel, and just helping us in general make this a better channel for you guys on YouTube as well. So if you guys are interested, don't forget PCBWay's got their Christmas sale going on. All the information for PCBWay is going to be down in the description as well as the pinned comment. So check them out if you guys are interested in taking advantage of any of their services. Thanks again for hanging out here to the end, guys. My name's Jonathan. This is my Canon, and I'll catch you guys on the next episode of The Cannoneer.